Yo, everyone, we've got why Japan will win the World Cup. Shout out to Plantic, for the video. Hey, I'm looking forward to this one. I saw Japan the other day, Sunday night against the Netherlands. I was very impressed. Forget outside of Japan, Asian football in general is on the flipping rise. Japan's last few games before Netherlands, Brazil, I think they beat them. England, I think they beat them. They played like two, three more other like tough, very tough games. They performed well in them, and they've been getting results against these good teams. Like I said, like against Brazil, against England. And it's not just Japan. I felt like the second game of the World Cup, South Korea. I forgot who they played. It was like the second game after the Mexico game. I was very impressed watching South Korea, and I'm like, bro, watching Asian football in general at the moment is genuinely a joy. Like I might have to watch more like the Asian league, like the Japanese league or the Chinese league. I might have to do that, because listen, these nations, they might not have the star quality yet, but it's like the fundamentals of the game, the foundations. They've got the minerals of the game. They've got the minerals essentially. Like I genuinely, it's refreshing to see back to the basics football. Japan keep it simple. Like I was watching their passages of plays that they were making, their link up plays, their quick 1-2 plays. They were popping it around the pitch against the Netherlands, bro. They held their own. I can't lie. They've got, especially Japan, they've got technicians in this team. Like they might not be the biggest names, but they got technicians in this team. This Ayase is coming off a very good season striker. The only disappointing thing I have with Japan this World Cup is that Matoma, man. I would have loved to see Matoma in this Japanese setup in this tournament, but man,
through with the Netherlands
just
in the
get
World Cup.
reaction.
But even
It is
then,
what it is,
here's
I
a
guess.
stat that should stop you in your tracks. Since the start of the 2022 World Cup, Japan have not lost to a single European
Bro, like
team
look
in
at this,
normal
bro. This is their recent run of games. Japan vs Germany win. Japan vs Spain win. Japan vs Croatia draw. Their only game where they drop points. Japan vs Brazil win. Japan vs England win. Japan vs Scotland, like, yo, they're holding their own, They're serious.
time. In the last 4 years, Japan have beaten Germany,
Japan ain't a
Spain,
joke.
Brazil, and England at Wembley, becoming the first Asian team in history to do it. And they did it in front of the world against the giants of the game, the countries that have won this competition 11 times between them. And still, if you ask someone if Japan can win the World Cup, the answer you'll probably get is no. Here's why they're wrong. Because what's happening with Japan's football team isn't a fluke. It's the result of something Japan started building over 30 years ago. A plan so long, so patient, so completely unlike anything else in football, that the rest of the world only noticed it was working when it was already too late. This is the story of how a country that barely played football decided to win the World Cup, and how a comic book, of all things, had a big part.
Are they
to
talking
play
about
in
Blue
it.
Lock?
This
Because,
is
hey,
Football
I've got a
Explained.
hypothesis on Blue Lock now. I genuinely think that Blue Lock is like a major driving force for the youth in Asia, especially in Japan as well. Like they're looking at Blue Lock, because you wanna know how I feel like that's the case? Because it's like when I look at it, yeah, in Europe, in England, bro, and I watch Blue Lock, I genuinely have like this rush just to like play football. But it's like it's not just me in it. Like when you look at people in Europe watching Blue Lock, like I don't know, like there's an incentive, there's a rush to like just hit the pitch, if you know what I mean, like that feeling. Blue Lock has definitely done something. I don't know, like if there's like a scientific, I don't have a scientific proof for you guys, but like Blue Lock, I feel like it's
When you picture a Japan squad, you might still picture plucky underdogs, neat, organised, there to make up the numbers. That Japan is gone. This Japan can name an entire starting 11 from Europe's top leagues, a goalkeeper at Parma, defenders at Bayern and Ajax, Kubo at Real Sociedad. Their striker, Ayase Ueda, just won the Golden Boot in the Dutch league.
Yeah, I was actually saying he's
outscoring
coming off a
everyone
very
else
good
by
season.
8 goals. Rewind to their first ever World Cup in 1998, and every single player played at home in Japan, not one in Europe.
Bro,
That's
Japan's
the
came a
journey
long
in a
way,
single
man.
fact. And this isn't a team carried by 1 or 2 stars. It's so deep that Premier League regulars sometimes can't get in the side. The way they play terrifies people. In fact, over the recent years, football enthusiasts
They've got our
have been
boy
keeping it
Liverpool, Liverpool. Hey, Wataru Endo as well. Obviously, he wasn't able to make the World Cup as well, injury and whatnot.
keen eye
but
on Japan's tactics and how it
bro,
has evolved,
Japan came a long
particularly
way.
under one man. Under Hajime Moriyasu, Japan beat England and Brazil with barely 30% of the ball, soaking up pressure, then breaking with a speed the Giants couldn't live with. Against Brazil, they went 2 goals down and won 3-2. No team in history had ever done that. Their best dribbler, Kaoru Mitoma, sadly injured for this World Cup, once turned down a pro contract at 18 to go to university, where he wrote his thesis on the art of dribbling, strapping a GoPro to his head to study how to beat a defender. That's what the world is up against with this Japanese team. There's a phrase that followed Japan out of Qatar after they knocked out Germany and beat Spain. Nobody wanted to play Japan. 4 years on, it's still the same. Except now, they're even better. Just look at their run leading up to the tournament. But talent alone doesn't explain Japan. Plenty of countries have talent and go nowhere. What makes Japan different is where this team came from. Because not long ago, this country was a footballing nobody. And the way they fixed that is with a 100-year plan and, well, a comic book.
100-year plan. Damn.
It's the 1980s. Japan is a baseball country. Football plays in front of a
Yeah,
few thousand.
I know. I've heard that they are like a big baseball. I think after the America is Japan. You know, like the best baseballing country in the world. I think they probably even toe to toe with America. You know, they've got the best player in baseball. What's his name, bro? Plays for the is it Dodgers or Houston something? What's his name, fam? If you guys know his name, drop it in the comment. What's his name? I hate when I forget. Shohei Ohtani. They got Shohei Ohtani.
There isn't even
Japanese
a real professional
baseball player.
league,
I
just
think
a
he's the
corporate
best
tournament
baseball
where
player
teams are owned by
in
companies
the
and
States,
players are
in
literally
the Major League
employees.
Baseball.
You
So
worked for the company in the week
you know.
and played at the weekend. And this is the country that decided it was going to win the World Cup. In 1992, before they'd ever even qualified for one, the Japan Football Association wrote a 100-year plan. The official goal? Win the World Cup by 2092. Build a league. Build 100 clubs. Build the culture from the ground up. It sounds insane, but look at what they did.
Pretty
In
smart.
1993, they launched the J-League. The corporate teams we talked about became city clubs. To make the country pay attention, they brought in the biggest names they could. Zico came out of retirement. Gary Lineker signed up, and a young Arsene Wenger took charge of Nagoya Grampus years before Arsenal. The public responded instantly. 60,000 at the first match, 6.5 million across the league within 2 years. But here's the crucial part. They built it beyond the top levels. They built downwards. Grassroots academies, youth coaching, football embedded into towns and schools. So a whole generation grew up thinking the game was theirs.
This is really
Japanese
smart,
way
man. Like
isn't just
Japan,
hiring coaches, it's the culture. And
I feel like Japan, right, for a lot of like developing countries around the world, trying to like improve the quality of like, you know, their footballing system. Japan has the template.
culture accepts here in Japan that when you join a sport,
Like Japan actually have one of the best infrastructures in the world, so maybe like it might not be generalizable for like all developing countries, but like I just feel like, you know, the blueprint, the template, the framework, I feel like Japan, you know, is definitely something to take a note of.
team at the age of 6, parents will accept as normal that your child, your little 6-year-old, will train 4 days a week, 3 hours a session, and it goes all year long. There's no on-off season. They just play. Now, couple in the commitment to mastering basics and technical skills and the amount of repetition and the amount of time they practice and the amount of games that they play, you're going to develop some good players.
Compare that to China, a country of over 1 billion that poured money into football from the top down, importing superstars. The money went in, the culture never came. China still can't qualify today, but that's a story for another day.
You know, when you look at sports, and you've been here as long as I have, there's certain tenets to Japanese culture that are very important, such as all sports, not just football. They value discipline, repetition, and the commitment to mastery of the basics. And you see that through all sports.
That mastery is very important. I feel like not just in sports, but like one thing I'm even like realizing whilst doing like this content thing at the moment, and not even just in content, like even when I'm in the gym, like I feel like the goal of mastery kind of builds or kind of helps you build an addiction for the process. Like you're gonna wanna, be addicted to the grind, addicted to a process in whatever you're doing. I feel like the aim of just trying to master something, like into over time you'll become addicted to the process is essentially what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm yapping. I don't know if that was clear to you lot. But like, hopefully you guys get where I'm coming from in it. Like
On paper doesn't make children fall in love with a sport. Something else did that. In 1981, a manga artist named Yoichi Takahashi created a story about a boy with an impossible gift for football and an impossible dream of winning the World Cup. The manga was Captain Tsubasa.
I've never seen this
At its
manga.
peak, it sold over
The only
6
football
million
animes I know
copies
is
a week.
Ayoshi
A whole
and,
generation of Japanese children
Blue
read
Lock,
it and
innit?
decided they wanted to play football. The first Japanese player ever to succeed in Europe, Hidetoshi Nakata, he picked it up because he read Captain Tsubasa and wanted to try the overhead kick. And it didn't stop in Japan. Translated worldwide, Oliver and Benji in Italy and Spain, Captain Mahed in the Arab world. Iniesta read it. Torres said he started playing because of it. Let that sink in for a second. A Japanese comic book helped inspire World Cup winners for other countries. That's the secret hiding inside Japanese football. They didn't import a football culture, they drew one into existence and sent it around the world. By the time those two grew up, Japan had a professional league, a home World Cup in 2002, and a wave of players heading to Europe. The women's team won the whole thing in 2011. As European football became big globally in the 2000s, the cross-cultural bridge became a huge catalyst for a whole new generation of Japanese footballers. Even if Japan's national team wasn't at the forefront then, you had a sense that something was brewing, because the impossible plan was working. And it was working so well that in 2005, they moved the deadline forward. The target wasn't 2092 anymore, it was 2050.
because I'm so far ahead, yeah, but it feels like Japan has made a lot of progress already. Where it's like, damn, that's quite far away. I feel like 2050. Even then, though, that's quite far away. That's like what, almost 25 years away. It's a lot of years, but
There's just one problem, and every Japan fan feels it in their stomach: the round of 16. Japan have reached the knockout stage 4 times. 4 times, they've gone out. In 2018, they led Belgium 2-0 with 20 minutes left and lost. In 2022, they went out to Croatia on penalties. So close, so often, it's become a curse. There's an honest tension underneath the success. Football is still not king at home. Baseball is. Most J-League games sit behind a paywall, but here's why it might not matter this time. Because Japan knows its weaknesses better than anyone. For decades, the one thing they couldn't produce was a world-class striker, and the culture responded the way it always does.
You even see that in Blue. Yes! Oh my days! Bro, I was literally getting onto that point. Bro, literally the whole point, the whole purpose of Blue Lock is to produce the world's best striker. That freak, that little pervy, the guy with the glasses in it, bro, he's always talking about like producing this striker. Yes, bro. Finally, you talk about
a manga
Blue
built
Lock.
entirely around creating Japan's greatest striker, is now the best-selling sports manga on the planet. And this year, the Football Association officially partnered with it, using the story to scout Japanese kids growing up outside Japan. Most countries stumble into a golden generation and pray for another. Japan manufactures them, and on a schedule. You can see that culture in the fans too. Famous for staying behind to clean the stadium, picking up litter that isn't theirs. They befriend rival fans, then sing their own team's name. Unity is their symbol.
It's cut across everything in culture. If you go to a baseball match, a tennis match, if you go to a movie theater, people are going to clean up after themselves. They're going to be disciplined. They're going to sit in the right seat that their ticket matches up to sit. And those
I do
are
respect
just,
that, honestly.
characteristics of Japanese
Like I saw a
society
clip
and
of
culture. And
Japanese
so
fans
that's
staying
the good thing
behind
about
after
Japan,
they played
because it's easy
England
to get
and Wembley.
everybody on the same
Bro,
page.
like
So, will Japan win the World Cup?
they were
Maybe,
taking care of the stadium, like they were
maybe
cleaning
not.
up rubbish
But
and
here's
whatnot.
what you have to understand.
Bro, I respect
This is
that.
no accident. They wrote a
I
plan
highly
when they were
respect that.
nobody. They drew a comic book that built a generation, then drew another to build the next one. They built a league, a culture, and a pipeline, brick by patient brick. So when you watch Japan next, don't just see them as a dark horse. Watch them as what they actually are: the most patient project in the history of the sport, arriving right on time and exemplifying Japanese character. For a bystander, the dream a manga artist drew in 1981 may just be another comic book, but for Japan, it's a mission.
Nah, I really enjoyed this video, man. A shout out to Plantic, sorry again. Hey, Japan. I'm really excited to see how Japanese football develops, man. Like, I feel like they are going on the right direction, a good trajectory they're at the moment. Again, man, like even watching them, the football they play is so simple but fluid. I'm enjoying their football right now. The development has been a whole nother level. It's been an amazing story. Like I said again, like for developing, like for countries looking to improve their football system, Japan has the template, man. Yeah, man, and I'm just happy for them as well. Like, I'm excited where the potential Japanese football is going at, right? And again, shout out Blue Lock as well, because hey, everyone loves Blue Lock, man. I love me some Blue Lock, but yeah, man, I'm gonna end the reactions here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one.